Let me ask you something. Do you think sales is just for slick guys in suits trying to sell you a car you don't need? Think again. You are selling every single day of your life, whether you realize it or not. You sell your ideas to your boss in a meeting. You sell your kids on the idea of eating their vegetables instead of ice cream for dinner. You sell your friends on which movie to see on a Friday night. You even sell yourself on getting out of bed in the morning to go crush your goals. Life is one giant sale from start to finish. If you can't persuade, you can't get what you want. It's that simple. The ability to articulate a point, to convey passion, to get someone to see your vision and agree with it. It's not about manipulation, it's about influence. It's about ethically guiding someone to a decision that is genuinely good for them. When you master the art of persuasion, you master your own destiny. You stop being a bystander in your own life and start becoming the architect of it. Every great leader, every successful entrepreneur, every person who has ever made a real impact on the world, they sold a dream, a vision, a better future. Think about the last time you tried to convince someone of something important. Maybe it was a job interview. You were selling your skills, your experience, your personality, or maybe you were asking for a raise. You had to sell your manager on your value. If you succeeded, it's because you made a compelling case. If you failed, your sales pitch wasn't strong enough. This is about empowerment. When you learn to sell effectively, you gain control over your life that most people can only dream of. You've probably heard of me. Maybe you saw the movie, the fast cars, the big houses, the insane parties. Yes, I lived a life most people can't even imagine. I made more money than I knew what to do with. But here's the secret they don't always tell you. All of that excess, all of that incredible wealth was built on one thing. It was built on a system. Powerful, duplicatable, almost foolproof. A system for selling anything to anyone. I call it the straight line selling system. It's the engine that powered the entire machine. It turned average guys into world-class money-making closers. I didn't invent this by accident. I perfected it through trial and error on the front lines. In the boiler room of Stratton Oakmont, I watched thousands of sales calls. I saw what worked and, more importantly, what didn't. I realized every single sale is fundamentally the same. It moves along a perfect straight line. From the moment you open your mouth to the moment you close the deal, your job is to keep the prospect on that line. Every word you say, every question you ask, is designed to move them forward toward the inevitable close. The beauty of the straight line system is its simplicity. It strips away the fluff and nonsense most trainers sell you. My system gives a simple, elegant framework to control the conversation start to finish. It works because it's rooted in the psychology of decision making. It's not magic, it's science. This system is my legacy, refined, ethical, unstoppable. I've taught it to thousands around the world. Fortune 500 companies, small business owners. It's the how-to behind my success. You have exactly 4 seconds to make a first impression. 4 seconds. In that tiny window, your prospect will make a massive judgment about you. They will decide if you are sharp as a tack, enthusiastic as hell, an expert in your field. If you fail this 4-second test, you're dead in the water. The sale is over before it even begins. You could have the greatest product in the world, but it won't matter. They've already tuned you out. Your goal in these critical opening moments is to project these 3 qualities instantly and powerfully. So how do you do it? It's all in your tonality. Open with a voice that is upbeat, positive, full of energy, not manic or crazy, but genuinely enthusiastic. Think of it as your "I've got something amazing to share with you" voice. Instead of a weak, "Hello, is Mr. Jones there?" Come in with a crisp, confident, "Hi John." Your tone immediately says, "I'm important. I'm a peer. You should listen to me." First, be sharp as a tack. You sound intelligent, quick-witted, on the ball. Second, be enthusiastic as hell. Convey that you genuinely believe in what you're selling. Passion is contagious. Finally, be an expert in your field. You're not just a salesperson, a trusted advisor, a figure of authority who solves problems. Mastering these first 4 seconds is non-negotiable. It's the gateway to the rest of the sale. After you've nailed the first 4 seconds and have your prospect's attention, you don't immediately launch into a full-blown sales pitch. That's what amateurs do. A professional, a wolf, transitions seamlessly into the intelligence gathering phase. This is where you become a detective. Your goal is to uncover your prospect's needs, their desires, their pain points, their beliefs about buying. You need to understand their world before you can offer them a solution. Selling is not about talking, it's about listening. And more importantly, it's about asking the right questions in the right way. You must use a script. I know some people hate the idea of a script. They think it sounds robotic. They are wrong. A script is your roadmap. It ensures you ask every crucial question and stay on the straight line. Your script should be filled with powerful, open-ended questions that get the prospect talking. What's your biggest challenge when it comes to X? If you could change one thing about your current situation, what would it be? These questions open the floodgates of information. While you are asking these questions, you are listening with 2 ears. First, you're listening for their explicit needs. Second, you're listening for their emotional pain points. As you gather this intelligence, you are building a mental map of your prospect's mind. All of this information is gold. The core of my entire system is the straight line itself. So, just imagine a perfectly straight line. At one end is the open, which is the moment you first engage the prospect, and at the other end is the close, the moment they say yes and you get the order. In a perfect world, your conversation would travel directly along this line without any deviation. You'd introduce yourself, make your presentation, and then ask for the order. The prospect would immediately agree and the sale would be complete. Of course, we don't live in a perfect world. Prospects have questions, doubts, and objections. They will try to pull you off the line. The prospect's goal, consciously or not, is to take control of the conversation. Sometimes they might want to talk about the weather, their weekend plans, or ask a question that takes you way off into the weeds. This is where amateurs get lost. They follow the prospect down these rabbit holes and lose all momentum. A master of the straight line, a wolf, never allows this to happen. You maintain control at all times. Sure, you can briefly step off the line to build rapport or answer a question, but you must always skillfully transition back to the straight line and keep moving forward toward the close. Think of the straight line as the main highway. The prospect might try to get you to take an exit ramp to talk about something irrelevant. Your job is to acknowledge their comment, handle it elegantly, and then immediately merge back onto the highway. For someone to buy from you, you really need to create absolute certainty in their mind. I call this the 3 10s. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being absolute uncertainty and 10 being absolute certainty, you need to get your prospect to a 10 in 3 specific areas. If you can achieve this, the sale is virtually guaranteed. It becomes the only logical and emotional choice for them. These 3 areas are the product you as the salesperson and the company you represent. If there's even a shred of doubt in any of these 3 pillars, the entire deal can just collapse. The first 10 is the product, the idea, or the concept. Your prospect must be absolutely certain that your product is the best thing since sliced bread. This is where your main presentation comes in. Using the intelligence you gathered, you present the features and benefits in a way that connects directly to their specific pain points. You're not just listing features, you're painting a vivid picture of how their life will improve. You build a logical case that is simply undeniable. The second 10 is you, the salesperson. The prospect must see you as a 10. They must trust you completely. They need to like you. They must believe you're an expert and have their best interests at heart. This is built from the first 4 seconds onward. The third and final 10 is the company. The prospect has to be certain your company is solid, trustworthy, and will stand behind the product. When you get a prospect to a 10 on all 3 areas, you've created total certainty. At that point, asking for the order is the most natural thing in the world. No matter how perfect your presentation is, you will face objections. It's a natural part of the sales process. An objection is not a no. An objection is just a smokescreen for uncertainty. Amateurs hear an objection and they panic or get defensive. A wolf hears an objection and smiles. It's actually an opportunity. It's a chance to use a powerful technique called looping. Looping equals handle the objection, then immediately transition back into your presentation to build certainty. You don't just answer the objection and wait. You answer it and then use it as a springboard to continue selling. For example, a prospect says, "It sounds good, but I need to think about it." An amateur says, "Okay, when should I call you back?" A wolf says, "I hear you, but let me ask you a question. Does the idea make sense to you? Do you like the concept?" When they say yes, you've isolated the uncertainty. It's not the product idea they object to. Once you've deflected the initial smokescreen objection, you can start your loop. You go back and resell the benefits with even more enthusiasm. You are building more value and raising their level of certainty. After you've run your loop, you transition to another trial close. You can loop as many times as you need to. It's a systematic process for dismantling every last shred of doubt until the only logical answer left is yes. What you say is important, but how you say it is everything. I estimate that as much as 90% of communication is non-verbal. It's your tonality, the tone, tempo, pitch, and your body language. Tonality is how you transfer emotion. It's how you convey certainty, passion, authority, and empathy. Mastering your tonality is like learning to play a musical instrument. You can play the same notes, but the feeling you create can be completely different. There are dozens of core tonalities you must master. Tone of scarcity, tone of absolute certainty, the I care tone, the mystery or intrigue tone. Your body language is just as crucial. How you stand, how you gesture, the eye contact you make. It all sends a powerful message. You must enter every sales encounter in a peak state. Before you pick up the phone or walk into a meeting, you need to get yourself amped up. You have to feel like a wolf before you can act like one. The straight line system is not just a sales tool. It is a universal system for effective communication and persuasion that you can apply to every area of your life. Once you understand these principles, you'll find your personal and professional life transformed. This is the ultimate life hack and your key to a life of success and fulfillment.